In this section, we shall demonstrate procedures for fitting armor-gripping glands, beginning with the Z-type gland, as this is perhaps the simplest and most commonly encountered. We begin with a selection of a suitable gland size, referring to Section A of the size selection chart. If the cable size is known, this example being 6 mm squared, we move down the cable size column to 6 mm squared. The cable has 4 cores, so we select a number 2 gland. However, if the cable size is unknown, measure the bedding diameter, find this measurement in the appropriate column on the chart, and select the correct gland size. Next, the gland's anchoring position on the cable is marked according to the required tail lengths, which, as previously demonstrated, is obtained by measuring between the point of entry and the terminal points. The outer sheath and armoring is next stripped off using the ring cut method, as described in an earlier program, to expose the inner bedding. Next, the marking tape is removed and the rubber shroud, if to be fitted, is turned inside out and slipped onto the cable. The cone nut is also positioned on the cable at this time. The necessary dimension of armoring to be exposed is obtained from the manufacturer's fitting instruction pamphlet, which in this case is dimension A for the specific gland size. The specified amount of outer sheath layer is now removed to expose the required length of armoring. To create space for the cone bush, the armor wires are splayed out as demonstrated, and the cone installed between the bedding and armoring. Care should be taken to ensure that no wires are trapped inside the cone bore. Next, the gland body is positioned over the armoring and secured to the cone nut using suitable spanners. A check is made thereafter to see that the gland has firmly gripped the cable. On this gland, an annular recess in the body provides a location for the shroud to lock into. When positioning the shroud, make sure that it locates correctly into the recess. Finally, the cable tails are prepared in the usual way. Then the assembly is installed into the apparatus and secured with the lock nut. If during assembly you find that the cone nut will not slide over the outer sheath, an amount of sheath in excess of dimension A will need to be removed in order to accommodate the cone nut over the armoring instead of over the sheath. The gland can now be assembled as previously demonstrated. After the break, we'll demonstrate the fitment of adjustable glands.